gaming.
What's up, my archfiends of chaos? King and I, Vincent, Valentine EX, Turk with the Final Fantasy video, and since this is Halloween, this is actually perfect time to talk about the supernatural things of this subject, and also to debunk some stuff as well. And we're going to get ready to debunk it right now, and this is also a video I like to do because this is a video about my favorite character since his birthday's October 8th or 6th or 7th. I can't remember on the top of my head, but you know, this is a perfect video. Of course, I think I missed my mark when I made the video, when I make this video. But that's okay. It doesn't matter. It's Halloween. It's Vincent Valentine. Let's get to it. This is why I don't think Vincent Valentine's actual vampire. Because in the original vampire, you have to be bitten by a vampire in order to turn into one. And their genes got to get through the blood that they put in your body. And I know this because I do watch a lot of vampire movies. I watch a lot of Blade, True Blood, and stuff like that. Now, the only thing that people actually get confused with Vincent Valentine being a vampire is in Dirge of Cerberus, you do see in the beginning scene where Vincent Valentine is drinking a red cup of red liquid. And I guess to some people it can be interpreted any kind of way. And, you know, but here's another evidence of why some people think that Vincent Valentine may be a vampire. He lived in a coffin for 27 years after being depressed over Lucretia. Now, a normal human being would have done that, and even just 2 days in a casket would die and perish already. The reason why Vincent Valentine is such powerful, is supernatural, is really not nothing supernatural. Vincent Valentine is a creation of science. Now, I know it sounds crazy, but there are, in Resident Evil, the zombies are made out of scientific stuff. So what if it's possible that Vincent Valentine is a different kind of vampire? Instead of the traditional ones we know that drink blood and, you know, kill people for blood, Vincent Valentine is more of a scientific, Resident Evil-ish type of vampire if you really think about it. Because Vincent Valentine, you know, Vincent Valentine had things fused within his body. Supernatural monsters that Hojo excavated, and then also Dr. Lucretia excavated Chaos and put Chaos's cells, and then Chaos, we know, is the weapon that is actually the dark weapon, the dark demon weapon known as Chaos, was fused inside Vincent's cells to keep Vincent alive because Lucretia felt bad about Vincent being killed by Hojo, and Hojo made a promise and, well, lied and killed Vincent anyways. Lucretia's desperation to bring Vincent Valentine back ended up bonding the same chaos cells that killed his father into him. Thus, Vincent Valentine was a successful specimen to actually have the chaos gene. Thus, he actually lived, even after sleeping in the coffin for 27 years, hoping that he would die. He never did. So, him and Lucretia now live in pain, immortal, and in pain 24/7. Of course, Lucretia can find herself in a crystal, so it's not as bad as having demons and monsters, which actually gets into the other reason why people think Vincent Valentine is a vampire. He doesn't sleep. But can you really blame the guy? I mean, the guy has demons in him, literal demons in him. You got Leatherface in him. You got you got Behemoth in him. You got Buff Frankenstein inside you, and you got a demon and a full-fledged demon in you. Yeah, you ain't gonna sleep either. You ain't gonna sleep either. Trust me, that stuff will cost you sanity. Though it's surprising how Vincent Valentine was able to keep his composure after all of that. But it could also be the fact that the training of the Turks probably taught him to have composure no matter the circumstances, even if near death. So it doesn't really bother Vincent that he has this in him. It's just the fact he can't sleep anymore. You know, he can't. It's hard for him to fall in love because, well, Vincent Valentine's also an emotional character, as we've seen him fall to pieces about Lucretia. Not just only because the experiment nearly killed Lucretia, but the fact that Lucretia chose Hojo over Vincent really fucked with him in ways that you could imagine. And it goes to show, no matter how strong you are physically or how immortal you are physically, the heart is actually the easiest thing to hurt. No matter how tough you are, the heart is something that can never heal, and that's something that's real. But nonetheless, besides talking about Vincent's love problems, you know, it's going to be hard for him to get a relationship. He can't sleep because of the monsters that live inside of him. And you know, Vincent Valentine's also a synopsis to kind of all of us. This is why Vincent Valentine is actually relatable to us as well, is the fact that we all conquer demons within ourselves. May not be scientific demons that make you have wings and supernatural powers and you're able to punch giant holes through buildings and shit like that, but, you know, our personal demons are super scary. Trust me, I know. I have anxiety. Anxiety is the worst personal demon to have. Woo! I think I might be like Vincent Valentine. But anyways, getting back to the video. If anything, he's more of a scientific genetic experiment that's gone right, but also gone wrong. Gone right for the fact that he survived the stuff, and he's able to actually infuse that power he has from all that stuff. Bad because his life's completely ruined. All he can do is fight for Avalanche or fight for the WRO, you know, and he doesn't need food to survive. He'll eat food, of course. He'll eat regular food like normal human beings to keep up appearances, or just, you know, out of you know, personal pleasure. But I don't think it's gonna be. But all he needs to do is all he does is drink red liquid. Now it could be interpreted any kind of way, but red liquid, you know, the red liquid could be even Kool-Aid, wine, Mountain Dew, who knows? But nonetheless, those three of the things that make people think that Vincent Valentine's a vampire. Now, if he is a vampire, I gotta say he's more of a scientific created vampire, considering, you know, he has a hybrid of many monsters inside of him, as well as the fact he retained his strength as a human when he was part of the Turks. You know, since Vincent's already, you know, as strong as it is, and of course, you know, in order to be Turks, you're gonna have to be in tip-top shape, of course. Well, so it makes a lot of sense that he retained that. Plus, the instant regeneration ability, you know, and stuff like that. Memory wipe. If anything, Vincent Valentine is more of a Wolverine, genetic vampire, demon transform, you know, horror transformation, genetic experiment done by Professor Hojo and Dr. Lucretia Crescent. But yeah, I don't think he's really a vampire, unless you call it scientific. Now, like, again, I take this as what Resident Evil would have. Now, Resident Evil zombies, we all know is science. Except in Resident Evil, everything's gone wrong. You know, the T-virus spreaded. You already know if you played Resident Evil, which I recommend anyone playing Resident Evil games. But that's what Vincent Valentine is. Vincent Valentine is what you would call a Resident Evil version of a vampire. Which, I don't know if it's not Kaluzniks, because I think Kaluzniks are the ones that feed on other vampires, but you never seen Vincent try to grab blood or kill people for blood or drain their blood or drink it. So it's kind of peculiar. And again, maybe he doesn't have to. Who knows? He may even live off animal blood. Who knows where Vincent Valentine gets whatever it is. Or maybe it's just, or maybe it's an elixir that Hojo used on him once, using, you know, scientific means to recreate that liquid. So then that's what he drinks all the time, because that's what he remembers he has to drink to get sustained. I don't know. But either way, it's more of that Vincent Valentine is more of a genetic experiment made with monsters, made with supernatural beings and scientific beings in order to create pretty much a super soldier that isn't a soldier, because Vincent Valentine's not a soldier, but he's as strong as a first-class soldier. So, You know, like I said, if he would have stayed in the Turks, he could have been director of the Turks, because considering his power, which I understand why he's not wanting to be with the Turks, because, well, the Turks kind of, you know, Shinra fucked his ass over. Got his woman, got the woman he loved killed, got his father killed, and still fund the scumbag who did it all to him. But yes, all in all, I gotta say that I gotta say that he's not really a vampire. Vincent Valentine is just a genetic engineer, I guess you could call him. Genetic engineer Klusnik, at best. At best, he'd be a genetically engineered Klusnik. Now, granted, the stuff that's inside Vincent Valentine is really unholy and really bad. And it also shows that Shinra pretty much will do anything to make their super soldiers, even if it's unholy means. Even though Vincent was not a soldier, still, you couldn't. It could be possible that Vincent Valentine could be a template of what they're gonna do with Soldier when Soldier got, you know, as big as it did. Because Vincent was in the creations of Soldier. He's been around since the creations of Soldier, so he could have been the first template. But either way, I'd have to go ahead and decline to say that he's a vampire just because you see a casket and just because you see him drinking red liquid and stuff like that. I wouldn't say he's a total vampire per se. So what do you think in the comments below? If you want to debate me, let me know in the comments below, and may the crystal be with you. Also get this Vincent badass tank top shirt from society6.com. They create awesome art stuff, custom art, and this stuff. So you can get yourself one at society6.com. May the crystal be with you.